जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जगद्गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8th, Chapter 12, verse number 39. को नो मे अतितरेण माया विषक्तास् त्वद् ऋते पुमान् ताम्स तान् विसृज्यातिं भावान् दुष्टराम् अकृत तात्मभिः। जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन कृष्ण बलराम गौर निताई प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की। कोनो में अतितरेन माया विषक्तस्त्वद्वृते पुमान् तां स्तान् विसृजतीं भावान् दुष्टराम अकृतात्मभिः। कोनो में अतितरेन माया विषक्तस्त्वद्वृते पुमान् तां स्तान् विसृजतीं भावान् दुष्टराम अकृतिमाभिः। कोनो में अतिरेन माया विषक्तस्त्वद्वृते पुमान् तां स्तान् विसृजतीं भावान् दुष्टरान अकृतमात्मभिः। माता जी word to word meaning, translation and purport. Kah, what? No, indeed. Me, my. Atitaret, can surpass. Mayam, illusory energy. Vishaktaha, attached to material sense enjoyment. Tvatrute, except for you. Puman, person. Tan, such conditions. Tan, unto the materially attached persons. Visrajatim, in surpassing. Bhavan, reactions of material activities. Dustaram, very difficult to surmount. Akrit Atmabhiya, by persons unable to control their senses. Translation. My dear Lord Shambhu, who within this material world but you can surpass my illusory energy? People are generally attached to sense enjoyment and conquered by its influence. Indeed, the influence of material energy is very difficult for them to surmount. Please repeat after me. My dear Lord Shambhu, who within this material world but you can surpass my illusory energy? People are generally attached to sense enjoyment and conquered by its influence. Indeed, the influence of material nature is very difficult for them to surmount. Purport: of the three chief demigods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, all but Vishnu are under the influence of Maya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are described as Mayi, which means under Maya's influence. But even though Lord Shiva associates with Maya, he is not influenced. The living entities are affected by Maya. But although Lord Shiva apparently associates with Maya, he is not affected. In other words, all living entities within this material world, except for Lord Shiva, are swayed by Maya. Lord Shiva is therefore neither Vishnu Tattva nor Jeev Tattva. He is between the two. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpatikamalam Shri Guru Vashamam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paridana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagra Lita Shiv Shakhanvitam Cha नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So before speaking anything on this verse, I desperately need the blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I can do some justification with this verse. So I was just going through the translations from verse number 1 till verse number 39, was revising that which is discussed in the previous 38 verses, and the whole theme suggests like how Lord Shiva himself is teaching by his own example that the alertness which a conditioned soul must have in order to be protected by the external energy of Maya. Although here this purport itself says that Lord Shiva is dealing with the external energy without getting influenced by it. But our situation is very pathetic. Sometimes like when the digestion of a person goes very bad, then even like he may fall sick by eating the normal meals. So that is the situation of the people in this Kali Yuga. Very pathetic situation. So, and over and above that, we have false ego. We feel proud. We feel overconfident. So, the areas where we feel overconfident, we are sure to fall down there. Curiosity to see the material energy of the Lord will lead to fall down. Real curiosity, more dangerous than we can imagine. So, how to be protected by the influence of Maya and how to continue on and on in Krishna consciousness is the sincere question to be asked by the practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. So in that way, it's very important that we remain protected from the sinful influence of Kali. We have to protect ourselves from the acid rain of the three modes of material nature. Actually, we all have three personalities. We have personality in the mode of ignorance, personality in the mode of passion, personality in the mode of goodness. Sometimes people feel very inspired by meeting with us because at that time we are exhibiting personality in the mode of goodness. Sometimes people feel frustrated with us. They say that he is the worst person to deal with because at that time our ignorance personality is displayed. And sometimes we are in passion. At that time also, passion, unless it is controlled by the mode of goodness, it is very, very devastating in nature. So, I was just hearing one of the lecture, one of the addresses by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in UK Assembly, UK Parliament, where Maharaj was mentioning that we all have two personalities within. One is good dog and one is bad dog. And depending upon which dog we feed, that dog becomes stronger. So there are 5 factors which builds our attitude, and what we do is directly proportional to our attitude. Like our past life conditioning, that is one component of the development of our attitude. Past life conditioning. Then second is in what situations we took birth. Third is our upbringing, हमारी परवरिश कैसे हुई. Fourth is our present association, what kind of people we'll associate with, what kind of information we like to hear. Garbage in, garbage out, knowledge in, knowledge out. And fifth factor is our free will, because we always have the choice of attending Bhagavatam class or missing Bhagavatam class. We always have the choice of endeavoring for attentive chanting or just sleeping in chanting. We always have the choice of waking up for Mangal Arati or taking rest during Mangal Arati. We always have the choice of escaping services or voluntarily coming forward to do services and purify ourselves. So in that way, each and every action which we take now has its repercussions, positive or negative, depending upon the kind of act performed. So no one in Krishna consciousness can blame others for their present or for their future, because we ourselves are the developer of our future. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we get alert, we get discrimination, what to do, what not to do. We get alertness. Oh, there are more than 25 cases of fall down in Srimad Bhagavatam because of lust. I also categorize them sometimes in like Gaurang Sabha classes we discuss. So anarthas have a very detrimental effect. People in the outside world actually do not know what is really like devastating their life. Ultimately, it's the influence of anarthas on the conditioned soul which devastates one's life. So, if anartha nivritti is not happening, we have to go back and see what is our bhajan kriya, what is the standard of our bhajan kriya. If we are not getting sufficient inspiration to do bhajan kriya, we have to go further back. What is the quality of association? Because things are dependent on each other, na? Like better the bhajan kriya, better the association of devotees, better will be the bhajan kriya, and better will be the anartha nivritti. Better will be the anartha nivritti, we will move to the stage of nishtha. Actually, I was hearing something very wonderful from Radhesham Prabhu, that nishtha is the stage where a person becomes fixed up in his devotional services. But the anarthas has not yet gone completely. The influence of anarthas still remains. But it's not like every time the anarthas are showing their influence. A person will be very, very fixed in his services. And ruchi is the stage where the mind has likelihood for devotional services. Naam hi ruchi hai. So in that way, a living entity is attraction. Still, like there will be some anarthas, lingering anarthas, still, even on the stage of ruchi. And asakti is a further developed stage where a person is very, very attached to the devotional services. Now, like the conditioned soul's mind rushes after sense gratification. So, in the stage of asakti, the mind rushes after Krishna conscious activities. As soon as there's an opportunity, a person will execute that opportunity, will accept that opportunity. So, that is asakti. And then bhava and prema are very, very elevated states. Like, what? Who are we to discuss? we are struggling with anarthas, conditioned soul. We don't know how long we are going to be in bhakti line. अभी हैं पता चला कल नहीं भी हैं. And there are so many mental fall downs we undergo. See, like there are visible anarthas and there are invisible anarthas. Like when we are angry, it's a visible anartha. When we are greedy, we took 4 gulab jamuns in our plate. Visible anartha. We accumulated 15 mangoes inside our almirah. Visible anartha, greed. But this lust is an invisible anartha, unless like it takes a ghastly shape. And envy is an invisible anartha. A person may be envious, but himself may not recognize that he is envious. He may be thinking that I am talking about the principles actually. And one should be bold enough to speak the principles. The mind thinks like that. And we may be envious, like Daksha was envious to Lord Shiva. The very first statement told by Daksha was, what I am speaking is the truth, and let me declare that I am not envious of Lord Shiva. He was envy personified, because how can someone have envy with the saintly personality like Lord Shiva? Canto 4 explains. So that is the power of envy. And illusion, most of the time, conditioned soul is in illusion only. Thinking ourselves great and others fallen, thinking ourselves pure, thinking ourselves to be to deserve more respect, more honor, more appreciation. That is because of illusion. So what if Krishna comes in front of us and asks that I want to give you a boon of eradicating one anartha. Which anartha would you like to get eradicated? Just think for a while. No need to tell. Just think for a while. Whether it will be lust, whether it will be greed, whether it will be anger, which anartha would you ask to delete from your system? Then no need to answer. Just have internal contemplation. So everyone has their own conditioning, have their own backlogs, and it's not like everyone is suffering with one problem. Some people has so much anger issues, but actually Krishna says that it is lust only Arjuna, which is the all devouring sinful entity. Because that lust only, when it gets fulfilled, it becomes greed. Lust, when it's unfulfilled, it becomes anger. Greed further takes the power of pride. Why? Because a greedy person, when accumulates more and more, he feels proud that I am greater than others. See, I have so much of wealth, I have so much of this and that. So it is ultimately lust which deteriorates. So what to do now? How to eradicate this ghastly entity lust which is inside our system? Suppose if a terrorist has like occupied the place in the ashram in the garb of a devotee. So what we will do? The prime objective will be to knock him out. So there are so many things. There are things on mental platform. There are things on intellectual platform to understand. We often hear so many intellectual concepts. The game of sense gratification is defined as the game we never win, the game we cannot stop to play. So all these we have information, but still at the end of the day, what it works is the divine realizations emanating in one's heart by the mercy of Sri Guru and Krishna. So unless that lust is transformed into love for Krishna and love for his devotees, it will remain. It will remain. No matter we have practiced Krishna consciousness for weeks together, months together, years together, or even decades together. No matter. So, and this is something which a living entity cannot share with others as well. Why? Because when a person grows little senior, then he feels hesitation. How will I tell what is the situation of my heart? How black my heart is? So in that way, it's like a demak which starts like swallowing the door, and it's a matter of time when the door breaks apart. जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन कृष्ण लाम गौर निताई प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जगतगुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की. So the immediate goal of a sadhaka should be anartha nivritti, not Krishna prem. Why? Because the kind of love which we may be feeling maybe on the sentimental platform as well. Who knows? So that's why there are so many instructions which are given in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada elaborately described to get rid of the anarthas. And the process of anartha nivritti is devotional services. Attentive chanting and attentive dealing with the Vaishnavas are two very very powerful methodologies to get rid of anarthas which have occupied the heart. So attentive dealing with the Vaishnavas, very important, and attentive chanting is also very very important. But what to do? Mind doesn't cooperate. Mind says that somehow or other finish 16 rounds and then your real business will start. So the situation is pathetic. But it is that like when a person develops sufficient awareness, sufficient knowledge about the glories of the holy name of Krishna, how one will be the beneficiary chanting attentively. The difference between inattentive chanting and attentive chanting. That will enable one to come to the platform of at least endeavoring. Like there are 4 platforms: hopeless defeat, struggle and defeat, struggle and success, effortless success, which is applicable in many many areas. I read this in Back to Godhead magazine. Hopeless defeat is something like when we are defeated without even endeavoring to fight. 5:30 we started chanting, until 6:30 we were sleeping only. This is hopeless defeat. What is struggle and defeat? A person is trying to focus, sometimes sleeping, sometimes wake up, kabhi huba to kabhi duba. That is struggle and defeat. What is struggle and success? We are struggling, little bit, mind goes here and there, but most of the time we are able to successfully hear the holy name with prayerful mood. What is effortless success? Effortless success is a very elevated platform where a person doesn't have to struggle so much, but he has achieved, he has already paid that price of struggle and defeat and struggle and success. And now, after many, many wars, now he has situated himself to the elevated platform where he has effortless success. Without much endeavor, a person is able to win the game. Like to pick up this mobile is a very easy thing for me because my hand has much more strength than to bear the whole weight of this mobile. But if you'll ask me to uplift a very heavy table or this sound box, it won't be possible for me. My muscles have not yet developed. So actually, we try to develop our mental muscles to bear the weight of anarthas, to bear the weight of our conditioning. With the developed spiritual muscles, we will be able to uplift them. With the undeveloped muscles, we won't even think of uplifting. So when something goes on the samskar level, then it is called as permanent bad habit, which is very difficult to remove from our system. Many people are, even devotees are carrying various bad habits in their system time immemorial, and they become the stumbling block in the progress. See, we may have some visibly strength areas for which people will glorify. Everyone has visibly strength areas on the basis of which people are glorified. Someone sings kirtan very nicely. People will say, "अरे प्रभु जी आप कीर्तन करते हो तो पेड़ भी नाचते हैं." But what are about our invisible weak areas which are unknown to people but known to us, and there are further areas visible invisibly weak areas which even are unknown to us. For that we need strong help from some fixed up devotee of the Lord, some counselor, some Siksha Guru is needed who can make us aware that this is the serious problem, my dear counselee, which you are facing. This is the stumbling block. See, many a times, sometimes it happens that we go and visit a doctor with some disease in our body, and the doctor tells us about the second disease and the third disease as well, for which we never visited a doctor. It happens. It happens. It happened with me as well. That I went to Ayurvedic doctor with some disease, and he told me one more severe disease which I was unaware with by checking the nerves. Later on, like when I contemplated on it, then I got to know, okay, this is also like something which I need to cure. So the first thing is humility. Unless a person becomes humble, it's very difficult for him to understand his shortcomings, to work on his shortcomings, to overcome his shortcomings. That's why Trinadapi Sunichena Tarupi Sahistona Amani na Manadena Kirtanya Sadari. Humility is the beginning of spiritual life. To a degree a person is humble, he is ready to hear other person's opinion. To a degree a person is humble, he will be accepting his mistake, he will be endeavoring to correct his mistake. Otherwise, moving on and on with the same mistakes for decades together, what we will gain? So it's very important to deeply ponder into our heart to see where is the scope of improvement. A sincere devotee takes the stock of one's consciousness in every 15 days, in every 1 month. Like a good businessman. A good businessman always knows how much is there in this stock. Otherwise, how he will order? You go to a medical shop, as soon as like they have like a limited amount of medicine remaining, they will order the medicine further. It's not like after the medicine is finished, they will order. No. Before like few that medicines are remaining, they will order. So that way it's important that we are taking the stock of our consciousness. Otherwise, the days will pass, the weeks will pass like anything, and we will remain the same. There's a funny story which we hear, like once a person, an 80-year-old person was telling to his friend that, I have the same strength in my muscles as I used to have when I was 20 years old. The friend said, "Prove me." How will you prove? He takes the friend and shows a big chatan, some very heavyweight stone. And he says that when I was 20 years old, at that time also I was unable to lift this stone, and now also I am unable to lift this stone. Hence proved. So this is a funny story, but in our life also it has its own practical application. That we can't say that when I was in the first year of my Krishna consciousness, at that time also I was unable to uplift this weight of anartha, and now I have spent 10 years in Krishna consciousness, and now also I am unable to uplift. Hence proved. So in that way, it's a funny thing, but we need to sincerely think. So the real on 1st of August, now 1st of September. That's the 1st of September. Yeah, I met with His Grace Radhesham Prabhu in Hyderabad. where Prabhuji mentioned one point which very much clicked to me. With this point, I will end the class. In case if someone is having any questions or queries or some thoughts to share, they are most welcome. So I just took the note of this one line, which he said with full seriousness that the juice of bhakti will only be experienced the anartha free heart. The complete juice of bhakti will only be experienced by the anartha free heart. Unless we have a pure heart, that juice of bhakti we won't be able to access. It's there, and we are also there, but we won't be able to experience it. So, like Prabhupada gives the same example, like when a person is suffering from jaundice, a person is unable to experience sugarcane juice, which is very sweet in nature. Even if we put a fresh Alfonso mango juice in front of a person, he won't be able to experience it. So, giving the same analogy he mentioned, so that's why it's very important that since we have already come in the movement, we are already claiming ourselves to be a dedicated devotee in Krishna consciousness, then why not to engage ourselves fully? Why to have reservations in our consciousness while approaching the divine devotional services? Lord is more eager, Lord is more interested to take us back to Godhead than we are interested to go back to Godhead. Examiner is more interested to pass us than our desire to clear the examination. So this is the beauty of devotional services. Like when I gave AIEEE exam, examiner was not interested that Vaibhav Gupta must be selected in AIEEE. No. There the examination or the board is not interested. But here a spiritual master is interested, Srila Prabhupada is interested, Krishna himself is so interested. So we just need to show our free will in the right direction, and the result will be very, very glorious. More glorious than what we can imagine. So there's a quote that one should live in such a way that death becomes a festival of joy. One should live in such a way that death becomes the festival of joy. Okay, so if anyone is having any questions or queries, they are most welcome. जितना मैं समझा कि हम सामने वाले से पूछेंगे तो वो हमको बताएगा कि हमें क्या क्या बुराइयां हैं ना। कोई रिफ्रेम करना चाहेंगे, क्वेश्चन क्या पूछते हैं? ओ हाँ, तो हम अपने अनर्थ खुद तो नहीं देख पाएंगे, तो हम अगर किसी से जिज्ञासा करेंगे, कोई फिक्स्ड अप डिवोटी से, फिक्स्ड अप भक्त से हम जिज्ञासा करेंगे कि बताएं कि हमें वो क्या कमियां पा रहे हैं, तो डेफिनेटली वो भक्त हमारे वेल विशर हैं, वो हमारे हितैषी हैं, वो चाहते हैं कि हम भक्ति में उन्नत हों, तो ज़रूर से वो कुछ करेक्शंस, कुछ सुधार हमको बताएंगे, और उस समय अगर हम विनम्र भाव रखते हुए उन सुधारों को समझने का प्रयास करते हैं, अमल करने का प्रयास करते हैं, तो हम भक्ति में आगे बढ़ेंगे और आध्यात्मिक जगत तक प्रवेश कर पाएंगे। और किन्हीं का कोई प्रश्न? एक तैत्रीय उपनिषद में मुझे ये आनंद के बारे में कुछ मिला था, मैं जैसे इसको रीड करके बस फिनिश कर दूंगा। ये गौरांग प्रभु ने बताया था किस प्रकार से तैत्रीय उपनिषद में अलग अलग प्रकार के सुखों का वर्णन है। पहला है भूलोक मनुष्यानंद, जो हम लोग आनंद भोगते हैं उसको बोलते हैं भूलोक मनुष्यानंद। उसको 100 गुना उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो आता है मनुष्य गंधर्वानंद। हाँ, जो गंधर्व लोक में शायद लोग भोगते हैं, उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो देव गंधर्वानंद होता है। वो उनके लेवल का प्लेजर है, देव गंधर्वानंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो चित्रलोक आनंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो अजानुल आनंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो कर्म देवानंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो देवानंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो इंद्रानंद। जो इंद्र जो है ना, वो जो सुख जो एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं वो बाकी देवता के लिए संभव नहीं रहता। जैसे नहुसा था तो उसको इंद्राणी पसंद आई थी, जबकि बहुत सारी अप्सराएं थी पर इंद्राणी से खूबसूरत कोई नहीं वहां पर। तो ये इंद्रानंद है। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो बृहस्पति आनंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो प्रजापति आनंद। उसको 100 से गुणा किया जाए तो ब्रह्मानंद। और स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में जो आनंद है उसके सामने ब्रह्मानंद एक बूंद के समान है। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।